Okay, we'll look on some options, and now let's look on a zone. So we'll preview entire terrain, and if we work with infinity, it's going to be amount a huge size. But what if I want to work just on one small place right here? I can try zoom in and work with this, but it's a little bit harder. Much easier if we create a small zones. Kind of like almost select area reworking. So let's go ahead. We'll click add, and right here you notice I can drag around, select this area. So now I have my zone, and you can see how close this zone look for me. Okay, at this moment I can go inside, and you notice I don't have the effects enabled, but I can paint. So I can go inside, select for example raise. Let's decrease flow smaller, and I can, okay, for example this is a little bit too big, so let me undo that one. We'll go and set even lower right here, and I can go and modify, add some effects to this sculpting. Okay. Kind of creating. Again, notice this is kind of work some effects with the terrain. So come very close to the zone, creating effects that I needed. Okay, let's do one thing when we're done. It's kind of creating. So right here as well, I can go ahead and paint just this example, create another paint, apply to this just as normal editing with the terrain. Okay, let's go to zones, preview. Let's go preview right now entire zone. You can see right here where I was modifying again. Okay, right here's this one, and I can apply the apostrophe so it's kind of smooth them out. Let's leave it like this. I can extract this zone separately, so it will be separate terrain, delete it, and I can select entire as well. The fading, what's happening when you start working with the edges on entire terrain, what's happened, the edges not necessarily matching, so you want to enable fading and how much you want to blend with your terrain. Currently I don't need work because I'm too far away, so select this one. Okay, let me preview zone. So my zone is right here. Okay, we'll go to entire terrain, and it's right here, and let's click OK. You'll notice it's apply changes, and my zone where I modified this around this area. Let's preview. The one thing is will be different. You can see right here is where I modified. Some effect won't apply it like roughness because it's not function driven. It's a I kind of molded afterwards, so it will be just creating. But if I'm using brushes with paint, I can maybe create artificial kind of look on the ground. You can take this terrain which procedural and create maybe when starship collided kind of effect on the ground. You can do this way. The one thing kind of keep it in mind. So right here I modified this effect. So if I'm going to procedurals, I go to edit, and as example maybe pop-up roughness more, pop-up turbulence and smoothness. So let's say I modified preset, maybe contrast as well, something just to make it different in this case. Click OK. Let's look on my zone at this moment. So you notice it does effect, it's kind of will keep it over this. So just keep in mind it's not necessary will do it, but some effect, if you load a different procedural, it will override some options you created. So before you do, be sure you save it and apply it. Okay, let's go extract. Let's take a second till repology is done. One thing you notice, this is actually extract now. Look at different from my terrain. So I don't want to actually apply to this. But when I apply it right here, let's preview, you can notice that this segment, because we applied a topology, it's what does extract, so it's creating this kind of effect right here. Is out of zone. It's kind of, you cannot see it, but it is right here. It's creating different type of the terrain. So we have it right here, and then another one with effect, and our other ones where its element was extracted. So this is again kind of to preview on your terrain, and I'll just going back to this. Okay, so we can review it, and overall you can see how you can work with procedural terrain to create a little bit more details, work a little bit more with function, and creating all those addition effects to achieve better result. So let me actually edit one more things right here to showing. Okay, again with the zones, currently I just remove it, roll back. But to working with the zones and extracting, it's take a little bit more tweaking and a little bit more experience to playing. So don't feel kind of discouraged if first time when you try it you have some mistakes happening, because these options, it's a little bit more advanced, and it will take time to understand a little bit more how it's work, and to work a little bit more with precision on the zones. But overall with the zones you also can take pieces, your terrain, increase higher details, import it, and after combine, so it does have a big plus. And when we start work with infinity terrain, with the zones is only one way you can modify piece of the zone without on the infinity terrains. You won't have any other ways to sculpting stuff around that. Okay, so thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio. Please remember visit us on our web is www.geekatplay.com.